Hey guys, it's Neil. I'm basically going to be talking about my book, Your Eternal Life, and I'll be talking about the final chapter, which is You Are Already Done. And so in this chapter, I'm just talking about the understanding of the word done. Remove the word D, it spells one. Without the existence of one, it is not done. So what am I trying to say is this, that when you know that you're one, you know that you're done. But if you fail to realize that you're one, then you basically the reality of that is that you won't be one, which is where you're gonna have to die. Because if you don't realize that you're one, then you're not gonna be one. Okay, so the existence of one is eternal in the eyes of God. So the fact that He has given you one spirit in you so that you can have one soul and one body, one image, that is already the done work. So in this chapter, I'm talking about how we are already done. We are already complete. We are already perfected because the spirit in you is done. Now, if your spirit in you was not done, your image on the outside would not be done. In order for you to have one image, you have to have one spirit. If this one spirit is not done, then there's no image on the outside for it to be looking one. So in this chapter is just basically clearing out the understanding of one, because it's all about you becoming one with the spirit inside of you that is already one in you. Now, if you do not understand the awakening understanding that you're one, the reality of that is that you will not be one day, which is when you die, I will not see one you anymore. So in order for you to be one eternal, you need to know that the spirit is one in you. The spirit is eternal. Because once if your spirit leaves your body, there's another person that comes into life with the spirits. And that person is living soul because there's a spirit inside of them. And without having a done spirit, that person cannot be living. Okay, what is the done? The done is you have heaven already inside of you. You have a world inside of you that's already complete and done. And the reality of this spirit living in you is trying to create this world to be done in heaven. It's trying to reflect the done work that's already inside of your spirits. So the nature of your spirit is to live eternal. In order for this world to be eternal, you must awaken unto knowing that your spirit is already done. Now, if you fail to realize that your spirit is done, you're always going to be looking on the outside for you to be done. So you'll always set up goals. You'll always have to do some type of particular work or performance for you to feel complete. And it's going to be an ongoing rat race. And you'll do that to the point of the end of your life. And you'll still wonder why, I still don't feel complete and done. And it's because you're trying to be done on the outside without realizing that you're done inside. You need to know that you're done inside and the outside will happen effortlessly. Now, if I say, hey, I'm done, and you look at my life and you say, okay, he says he's done. What does he mean that he's done? I'm saying that I'm one. I'm saying that I am already alive. I'm saying that the work has been done. The life that has been given to us is the final finished work. And if we don't realize that is the done work, well, guess what? You will die one day. And if you awaken to understand this truth of you being done and one, you will not be in the world of trying to suffer, sacrifice, or fight to attain to be complete on the outside. Think about this. Is God God, or is God one based on the outside or the inside? He already knows that He is one. So the nature of that is to have the one on the outside. The one on the outside is eternal life. The one inside is the one spirit of truth of eternal life. In order for you to have eternal world, you need to know that you have an eternal spirit. And if you know that you have eternal spirits, you know that your spirit is done. And you realize this, that the reason why people are dying is because they don't even know who their spirit is to begin with. The fact that God gave you life with the spirit in you is the first initial foundation of knowing who your source is. And the reason why you have life is because the spirit in you is sustaining your existence. Now, The spirit in you is creating one image already of you. Now you look in the reflection of the mirror, you see one image of yourself. It's happening effortlessly without even you trying. You are already one form and one image without you even realizing that you're one. When you don't realize that you're one, this image and form will decay one day and it will pass away. In order, see, the eyes of God, when He gives you one life. Now, if God is eternal and He gives you one life, shouldn't that be eternal? But the knowledge of God will only see it that way. But if you don't have the knowledge of God and you have the knowledge of good and evil, you will see your one life as a beginning and an end. You'll see your one life as good and evil based on your knowledge. So in the eyes of God, He does not see one life given to you as a beginning and end, like a line, like from the beginning to the end. He sees one life as a circle, which is constantly eternal, living. Now, if you realize that you are one spirit, which has one soul and one body, you will be eternal. And it only comes down to realizing that you have a spirit inside of you, eternal. This is the done work. This is the complete work. We are not realizing this truth of that we are done. So you always see a world on the outside of people trying to fight, trying to be complete, doing all these things so that they can feel fulfilled. And they still wonder why they're not fulfilled. It's because they're trying to fill up a cup to be complete when the cup is already complete. They don't see their soul already complete because they're looking on the outside of their world and say, hey, I don't have everything doesn't look complete. It's because you're looking on the outside. If you look on the inside, you'll see the spirit in you is already complete and done. If the spirit was not done in you, you would not be one. You would not be even alive for you to even hear this video. But because you have a done spirit in you, that means you are one. And if you are one, you are eternal. And this is the done work that I'm speaking about, that you're already finished. You're already complete. And if you fail to realize that, you're always going to seek for some truth on the outside. You know, that's why Jesus Christ had to finish a work on the outside. But for those who have eyes on the outside who are not seeing that the done work is in them, so of course he has to do a done work on the outside. He had to finish a work of suffering, sacrifice unto death, so that you can realize on the inside that there is no death. There is only eternal life. So Jesus at that time was trying to unwind the false reality that you're not done. That's why he had to perform a work on the outside to finish your work. And if you don't realize that the work is done, you will die. And when you realize that you are done, you are resurrecting to eternal life. So this last final chapter is number 7. It's so symbolic because 7 is a symbolism of completion. That's why we have 7 days in a week. You know, 7, people say is a lucky number, all that stuff. And you know, when I wrote the last chapter, which I did not know at that time, I thought I was going to write 8, 9, 10, 11 chapters. I thought I was going to write 30 chapters of different truths. And when I got to the 7th chapter, I already knew that I was done with the chapter that's talking about that you're already done. So how crazy is that? It's pretty cool. So this is my last vlog about my chapters in the book. I'll be having more videos about the whole experience of eternal life. But ultimately, I'm trying to tell you this. Once you realize that you're done, you're going to have eternal life. And I'm not talking about you dying one day to have eternal life. I'm talking about you having eternal life in this life. This one life you are living will be eternal. Just as you realize that your spirit is done and eternal. So that's about it right now. Thanks, guys.